Hello and welcome on Watches TV, and just a few days back I had the great opportunity of getting my hands on some rather exquisite timepieces as Vacheron Constantin invited some international press to witness this year's selection of Cabinotier works of art, each being unique pieces, of course, and a true demonstration of extreme craftsmanship. And as a quick reminder, the Cabinotier department of Vacheron consists of 3 pillars, fully bespoke, according to your desires, signature models, and lastly, thematic pieces. So the ones you're about to see were part of this last category, and this year's theme was centered around the notion of journey and voyages. So let's now simply enjoy the 9 watches presented. Let's go! Let's move on with the timepieces presented.
Yes, we can go to Abu Dhabi with the Muslim inspiration word with the Grand Mosque from Abu Dhabi, with a beautiful ground complication based on 27 TMR, 2755 TMR, tourbillon, minute repeater, exceptional timepiece and caliber. Here the idea was to pay tribute to the richness and ornamentation of this Abu Dhabi with numerous minarets and domes full of decoration in terms of floral pattern, geometrical patterns. So the idea here, it's the first time we engrave any components. The entire case, including the case, the bezel was engraved. And on the top, on the dial, we've got a lattice work plate that is also in white gold that gives also continuity of the decoration of the dial up to the case. So mastery in terms of technique and gesture, it's up to above 300 hours of engraving only for the case. So can you imagine, yes, the precision and the gesture that was requested by the artisan behind this timepiece.
So using the same movement, but changing continent.
Yes, going to Americas, we've got the tributes to Art Deco. Back in the 20s, there's a very famous, I would say, architecture building, which is the Chrysler Building, known for its terrace arches in silvery metal. And we found this very interesting in how we can give birth to this into a dial. And finally, we choose a combo of 2 techniques. Finally, the champ levé, which is used normally for enameling, now mixed with wood marquetry. And why these techniques? Because it gives really the emphasis of this metal structure of the Chrysler Building. And now we have different layers, 2 layers on the dial that gives really this depth. And it was a huge work. Also, it's about 110 teeny wood parts made of tulip trees and pear. Very teeny components, and all put it together into this tiny alveoli on the dial. Quite exceptional, still with the same caliber.
And you're also presenting a rather spectacular enamel piece.
Yes, with the dragon. It's a brand new timepiece for 2 reasons. For the first time, we are using green enameling, translucent green enameling, mixing blanc de Limoges, which is something we are mastering for a long time again, but pushing the frontier further. The artisan introduced this kind of color tinted tone with a full of imagination with the dragon, which is taking the place of the entire dial. That's the first innovation. And the second one is that we have gem-setted the entire case up to the lugs. And the artisan who worked on the gem setting had to create his own tool, her own tool, just to make sure that she was able to set up to the end of the lugs all the zones with invisible setting.
All right, and now
quite challenging.
I can imagine, yes, for sure. And now for maybe a little bit more spectacular mechanical timepiece, using your famous
Armillary tourbillon.
Absolutely.
Yes, again for the Art Deco America. Tourbillon armillary is one of the key caliber for ground complication, mixing a 3-dimensional tourbillon carriage and retrograde hours and minutes. Here, what stands out, it's a combo of engraving, especially on the caliber. It's the first time on the top we mix guillochage and on the back bas-relief. And it was quite complex. We did several trials to make sure, and especially on the bas-relief, that we have the continuity between the different bridges in terms of decoration. And it's encapsulated into a fully decorated and engraved timepiece in yellow gold, because also it's, I would say, a material that is requested by our clientele, and fully dressed in black for the dial with this anthracite color tone. Quite impressive. Yes.
And finally, coming back to Europe, Paris more precisely.
Yes, yes. For French lovers, Haussmann style is always kind of dreaming inspiration for romance, especially all this ornamentation with lions, these very rich facades. And it was the starting point, and especially on the malt. You know, mastering the eye watchmaking is about, most of the time, round caliber. Here we are speaking about tonneau shape caliber that is skeletonized on the top, so it's quite complex in terms of aperture, fitting, I will say, in terms of design approach about the Eiffel Tower. That was the starting point, and the entire malt case is fully decorated with gadrons on the bezel, on the profile, and you've got also on the case profile the lion's champ levé sculpture that gives also a parallel with this very rich decoration of this Haussmann style.
With a slightly offset hour and minute hand.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, exactly. And we've got also the power reserve indication on the dial. Yes, yes.
Well, congratulations to you and the team of Vacheron Constantin. It must be quite challenging, but interesting and fun and inspiring to be able to work on such pieces, I guess.
It was a pleasure. Thank you.
Well, I hope you enjoyed this, and I can promise you that seeing these watches in real is a pretty rare opportunity, and I could totally dive into all of them, a voyage by itself. Well, thanks for watching. Congrats to the artisan of Vacheron, and see you real soon. Until then, well, a big Viva watchmaking your way. See you.